What's up everyone? So today we get to take a look at the latest generation for the Porsche 718 Spyder. This model is finished off in Guards Red and their MSRP start just shy of $100,000. Now this is a mid-engine sports car. It is powered by a 4-liter Boxter flat 6, which you cannot see. It's located in the rear, of course. This is paired to the 7-speed PDK transmission. It pumps out 414 horsepower, 309 pound-feet of torque sent to the rear wheels, propelling this 3,200-pound sports car from 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds, and it has a top speed of 186 miles an hour. Now, as we work our way to the exterior styling, Porsche models always have very clean and curved lines running throughout. So that is no exception for up front, where you'll notice all of those lines. In the entire lower section, there's a lot of cutouts to not only provide cooling to components up front, but to also allow for better airflow, including the heat extraction vent on the upper section. So that way airflow can go through the bottom and exit out and go over the rest of the vehicle. Now this also has a set of LED headlights, DRLs, along with washers, and then the turn signals are located in the trim accents just below that. Spyder is also written out in the lower spoiler there, and then there's some very nice lines that run down the inside of both headlight housings to give it some very nice curves. Now this is a mid-engine vehicle, so we do have storage space up front. You can use that button to release that, and this is actually a very deep compartment. So you'll notice I have one bag, but you could fit a lot of items. This is a practical convertible. You could fit groceries or whatever you needed to up front, and it really gives you a lot of space. Now, as we work our way to the side, this has a very nice set of matte black wheels with that double spoke design to them, massive Brembo brakes finished off in red. There's body colored side mirrors, and then even large inlets behind both doors to provide even more cooling to the engine. As you can tell, the top is down at the moment. I will show you the process of putting that top up here in just a second. And then in back, LED taillights, adjustable spoiler, backup camera with parking sensors, dual exhaust, and the lower diffuser has a nice design to it too. Now I accidentally released the rear already, but you have that button down below where you can activate that. And I've only found that you can open this up when the top is down. So with it down, check out the amount of space that you have back here. So combined with up front, you definitely have no shortage of space. They're not extremely large, but even with the top down, it still makes it that much more practical, which is awesome to see. Now, as we work our way to the interior, this has Alcantara and leather on the door panel. There's even some hidden storage in the back, as well as some underneath the Bose speaker. There's the window controls, side mirror adjustments, which are power folding, and then we have some weight reduction with the strap for the release. Now you can also release the front and the rear storage, and then very nice leather and Alcantara seats. Now they have a combination of being manual, and then we have automatic for recline and incline. There's also a lever to slide this forwards. If you want to put some jackets or very thin items in the back, you can do that. And it's a low car, so it makes it very easy to enter, where we have the Alcantara steering wheel as well as paddle shifters on both sides. And then the ignition is located on this left side. So with my foot on the brake, we can start this up. And now we can go over the rest of this info. With the gauge cluster, we have an analog speedometer on the left, as well as the tach in the center. You can see what gear you're in, as well as miles per hour. And then on the right side, that is a digital screen. You can use this joystick down below in order to go through all of this. So just hit it up or down to go through this info, and then you can push it forwards or pull it back in order to go into these and activate any info that you need to. So it's pretty nice to go through that. Cruise controls on the left side. There's the e-brake, headlight adjustments, and then a clock in the middle, 2 air vents, and then a touchscreen system underneath that. There are physical buttons to go through all of this information, and you can swipe through some stats there, just depending on what you'd like to see. And then we have a lot of more apps that you can get into and just view in one screen here. There's also power and volume, and then you can use this dial to further go through this. There's all the climate adjustments nicely laid out with your temperature dials, where you'd like the air to go, AC and everything. And then with it in reverse, there is your backup camera. You also have drive, and then the manual setting that you can use, or the paddle shifters, of course. There's lock-in hazards behind that. You have a PDK Sport mode for the transmission, as well as a suspension setting, various traction control settings, the rear spoiler, engine note, and then your engine start-stop. There's a little bit of storage in the middle, as well as in the armrest where there's a wireless charger. And then you do have storage in the glove box, and you even have hidden cup holders. So just push on those. That is how you can activate both cup holders and then nicely hide them away when they are not in use. And then let's start on the top operation. So of course it's down. This is the control to put it down. This is the control to start putting it up. So from there, we will hear a release in the back, and then you do have to get out and lift this up from here. So once we do this, basically that's all it did, is released that. We can pull the top up from here. A little bit hard with one person, but you can still get it up. From there, we will lock this into place. So just push on this button again, and it will lock this here. It will roll the windows up, and then we do have to get back out and put this down. Once we lock this into place, then we can come up and release these pieces. So there's a button right in the middle that you have to just push just right, and then from there you can lock them into the back. And of course, this is the opposite when you go to put the top down. So this is the first step that you have to do before you can release anything. You have to release those, lift this up, and then go in the opposite direction. And then with the top up now, we can take a look at the overall visibility. It's not all that bad. Of course you have the pillar there, but you also have your side mirrors to help you out as well. You have a little bit there, but you can lean over and then use that side mirror as well. And from second gear, here we go. And just like that, we're up to speed. I love the feel of using this shifter. If you really put your foot on it, this red line's at 8,000. I'm sure this would just be fantastic to hear, and just going through the gears up to those speeds. This would be a heck of a lot of fun. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the 718 Spyder. As small as it looks, it's really not all that bad from the inside here. I'd have plenty of room with a passenger next to me. Seats feel pretty wide too. So this would be a nice two-seater vehicle that's not too tight like a Mazda Miata. It's not at that level of being too confined even for its size. And visibility, even with those pillars I showed earlier, it's still easy to see. So it definitely gives you a good feel for its size. It feels very roomy for the smaller vehicle that it is. And this is nice. It's funny that we have the releases with the straps there to save a little bit of weight, but we have AC and we have a few other things. I'm not sure what other options you can spec with this. I'm sure with Porsches, you could go through a laundry list of items that you want, don't want. I don't know if power seats, full power seats, are optional or anything like that. And one last acceleration for today's video. Now actually, if we do that again and we take it out of the PDK Sport, let's see if there's a difference in its shifts, if they're as quick or not. And let's turn the exhaust off just so we can hear it from this perspective. It is so hard to tell, but I think it does get a little bit more crisp in PDK Sport. But that is what it's like to drive the Porsche 718 Spyder. Once again, a huge shout out to Carolina Auto Direct for providing this for me today. Take a look at their website. That link is down in the description. And if you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up. Consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. And I will see you all in the next video.